What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to learn how to mix and master an Ozone or later. So let's get in it. I use Logic Pro. Bro, this is how you do it. So I have the song called Already Won that I have already mixed. And what we're going to do is we're going to open a new project. Every time you mix a song, you want to bring in one file to mix. You don't want to be, to master. You don't want to be mixing and mastering on the same project. Bring in a new project with the mixed, if you can get as mixed as good as it can be mixed. And sometimes, you're like, oh man, I need to tweak this. Go back to the mix, tweak it, export it again. That's why everybody has like version 22. So boom, what we're gonna do is, but you know me, I go to my desktop and documents. Here. Already won. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is bring in that song. Bam. Just like that. Let's change the project. Don't convert your file. Change the project, whatever your file is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sirs. So, as we play it.
The business is already done. It's already won. He handled the business. It's already done. It's already won. He handled the business. It's already done. It's already done. We already won. He handled the business. It's already done. It's already done.
All right. Now, what we're going to do is open up Ozone 10, bruh. So here we go. We're going to go on audio effects right here. Or you can go here if you want. In the audio effects, same thing. Boop. And the way to get rid of that is just go, just kind of like that, you know what I mean? Are we still recording? Oh, we are. Oh, it's saving the screensaver time. Audio effects. Boom. What we're going to do, go down here. We're going to go down to our isotope and go to Ozone 10. Click on that mug. Once you've clicked it, you're done. Just kidding. What we're going to do next is you want to make sure that this is playing on the loudest part of your song. So look at your waveform. Where's the loudest? Typically the chorus of the song. Now I'm mixing a rap hip hop song, so that's what I'm going to be mixing. But you're probably mixing like a folk song, aren't you? So what we're going to do?
Bandit, draw me close, feeling like a magnet. Draw me close, feeling like a canvas. Paint a story through my life, my testimony. Feeling like Samson, how I'm moving these stones. David, how I'm throwing these stones. They knows how these stones. Jesus, how I'm rolling these stones. Watch me do a lap. All I see are dubs up in the
done. Cool. And it's really cool if you hit this little icon here and you just hit play, and it will do its thing, and it uses AI and all that sort of stuff to master your song. What? But we're gonna add a few more things just so that it's polished and sounds bitty good. So right here, if you look here, this is the chain. So these are all the effects, just like if you were to add an effect here. Boop. These are the effects. It's just all in Ozone, so it's pretty cool. Now we go back to here. So these are two little tabs. I'll kind of go over this real quick. So over here are your targets. So this is hip hop. I found it right. Sometimes it messes up a little bit, but make sure you stay within your genre. For you folk people, here you go. Bam! But you see this little curve right here, this little blue curve. Woo. Let's go back to hip hop rap. Oh, it changes. You see how it does that? And so it takes a collection of like all these different genres, and then it fits your song to that. So it's pretty cool how it does that. And then as you see, this looks like an EQ waveform. You're right. So boom. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So if you go to your EQ, this is basically at like 50%. So if you go to equalizer, so it's matching it right here about 50%. Now we raise that, bang, go up, and then does its thing. This is a different, yeah. But this is the equalizer, right? Okay, and then the stabilizer right here is correlation to this guy right here. Now, I like to keep this on cut, unless your song sounds like you want to add some stuff to your song. But typically for rap, there's a lot going on, so I don't necessarily need to add stuff. So if we play it,
my life is not what it was. From slave to now called a son or died.
See how it's cutting those frequencies? Shape, it'll also add frequencies.
Or died, or I got a heavenly father waiting in heaven for me. Earth is my alma mater when I'm finally free. I'm on my knees.
So typically I'll just keep it at cut just because
Crowned by the king.
We'll add some of that low end later. Okay? So boom, very nice. Right here is the width, so you can add some width to your song. I like to add just a little bit more. Dynamics, I usually don't mess too much with this, but yes, for the stabilizer here, if you were to push this all the way up, then when you go back to your stabilizer right here, it'll actually duck a lot more frequencies. You can also change how much it's ducking in this region right here. kind of the mids, high, and lows, which is pretty nice. Speed sensitivity, and the mount. You see the mount right here is 50. Go back to here. Let's go like this. The mount is 100. See how it does that? What? Pretty cool. All right, but typically it does a pretty good job. So I'll keep it, you know. Let's hit you back at 50. Let's do 51. So typically I'll keep it as is because I think it's pretty smart and it sounds pretty good. All this sort of stuff is all by sound. So if it sounds good to you, it sounds good to me. You know what I'm saying? Impact is really cool. So when you play the song,
Praises filling up both of my lungs. Running this planet, got the advantage.
It's really cool because it kind of breaks it down into 4 little bands for you. Typically, I also don't really mess too much with this. I think it does a good job. Like I said, I mean, it's pretty easy. It figures it out, and it's really nice. Imager, it widens. If you look over here, so this is your low, mid, highs, and same thing for here. And it kind of adjusts it for yourself or for you. It does for you.
Try to expand it, cornerstone, it's harder than granite. Paid the loan, don't gotta.
So if your voice is up in here, you can kind of raise those a little bit. I wouldn't mess with this because you want your like low end and kicks and all that to be pretty mono. So down the middle.
Gotta go bandit, draw me close, feeling like a magnet. Draw me close.
Fixes those little things, you know what I mean? And then maximizer. This is pretty nice.
Close, feeling like a canvas, paint a story through my life, my testimony, feeling like Samson.
But I like this setting. Put it on the setting. It sounds the best. Okay, next we're gonna go to. So it already sounds better. So if we go like.
Samson, how I'm moving these stones, they how I'm throwing these stones. They knows how I'm using these stones. Jesus, how.
Okay.
Canvas, paint a story through my life, my testimony, feeling like Samson, how I'm moving these stones. David, how I'm throwing these stones. They know.
It just sounds like it's glued together more. Okay, so that's what it's doing whenever you mix and master. So it's really nice. You want to glue it together and then you want to raise it higher. And so next we're gonna hit some of those dynamics, bro. So this is cool. This is if you click here 3 times, when you play the song, hit learn. Always do it on the loudest part of the song.
Samson, how I'm moving these stones. David, how I'm throwing these stones. They knows how I'm using these stones. Jesus, how I'm rolling these stones. Watch me do it.
You see that blue turned off right here, so that means it's done learning. So it's really cool. And so you can go through each little. This is blue. This is pink. This is orange. This is whatever, and you can adjust the parameters. But it does it itself, and I think it sounds great. So. If you want to gain match right here is typically when you start adding stuff, your song sounds louder, and you can think that it sounds better, but really it just sounds louder. And so if you hit gain match, it'll bring back the gain to what it normally was, so you can actually see what it's doing to your song. So if we bring it back.
Kingdom, try to expand it, cornerstone, it's harder than granite. Paid the loan, don't gotta go bandit. Draw me close, feeling like a magnet. Draw me.
Feels a little bit more open. So, but obviously it'll seem louder.
Bandit, draw me close, feeling like a magnet. Draw me close, feeling like a canvas. Paint a story through my life, my testimony.
My levels were a little hot going in, so that's why it sounds louder. It's supposed to sound the opposite. When you hit game match, it's supposed to go quieter, but my levels were a little too loud, so it fixed it. It brought it a little bit down. You know what I'm saying? So it does a pretty good job. All right, that typically doesn't happen. Next, let's see. Let's put on. Here's another equalizer. So whenever you do your little thing where it listens to your song, it'll add in its own effects that it thinks it needs, and I usually don't mess with them very much. Whenever I add in my own stuff, that's when I start messing with stuff. Exciter is really nice, and it's kind of that multi-band thing again. So hit learn on the loudest part.
Feeling like Samson, how I'm moving these stones. David, how I'm throwing these stones. They knows how I'm using these stones. Jesus, how I'm rolling these stones. Watch me do a lap.
Okay, cool. So right here is when you really want to use your gain match, because Exciter gets you excited, and sometimes you excitedly bring things too excitedly high. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh! But you don't want to do that. So let's do it real time.
All I see are dubs up in the chat. Watch me do a lap. All I see are dubs up in the chat. How could I fear the one that I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood. We already won. We already won. It's already done. It's already done.
I think it's pretty good. All right, don't go too much with it. You know what I mean? These you can go a little bit more. Don't mess too much with these.
My life, my testimony. Feeling like Samson, how I'm moving these stones. David, how I'm throwing these stones. Thanos, how I'm using these stones. Jesus, how I'm rolling these stones. Watch me do a lap. All I see are dubs up in the chat. Watch me do a lap. All I see are dubs up in the chat. How could I fear the one that I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood. We already won. We already won.
Exciter kind of adds like harmonics and stuff, I think, to this, and it kind of, that's why it sounds a little bit brighter, adds a little bit more to it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Something like that. All right, so a really cool one is let's hit some of this master rebalance. This is really cool. So say your vocals are a little too low or a little too high, and you wanna kind of match them. So check this out. It does its woo-joo moo-moo and messes with your vocals only, or your bass only, or your drums only. Check this out. It's really cool.
Bandit, draw me close, feeling like a magnet. Draw me close, feeling like a canvas. Paint a story through my life, my testimony. Feeling like Samson, how I'm moving these stones. David, how I'm throwing these stones. Thanos, how I'm using these stones.
How does it do that? I don't know. That's pretty cool. Oh, y'all. Okay, so you hit drums. Check this out.
A magnet, draw me close, feeling like a canvas. Paint a story through my life, my testimony. Feeling like Samson, how I'm moving these stones. David, how I'm throwing these stones.
You can only do one at a time. So I would recommend, if you want to mess with the drums, like say you got a beat and the drums are then do this only on your track before you add in your vocals. So create a separate one for your track and then mess with the drums. Bring the drums up, bro. If you want that bass kicking, bruh, do that. Okay. So I'm gonna hit on vocals.
Stones, they knows how I'm using these.
Honestly, I think
Advantage, further the kingdom, try to expand it. Cornerstone, it's harder than granite. Paid the loan, don't gotta.
I wanted to sit in it. You know what I mean? I don't want it to stand. I want it to sit. All right. Low and focus. So this is kind of cool. This just focuses on the low. Does what it's called. Punchy. This is more for like rap.
Go bandit, draw me close, feeling like a magnet. Draw me close, feeling like a canvas. Paint a story through my life, my testimony. Feeling like Samson, how I'm moving. How I'm moving these stones. David, how I'm throwing these stones. Thanos, how I'm using these stones. Jesus, how I'm rolling these stones. Watch me do a lap. All I see are dubs up in the chat. Watch me do a lap. All enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood. We already won. We already won. It's
a little bit of the kick sticks out just a little bit. That's what you want to do when you master. You want to add a little bit effects. And at the end, it'll sound really good. You don't want to be bumping stuff way up, adding a bunch of cuts and a bunch of additions and all that sort of stuff. Like, 5 dB here, 8 dB here. You want to do like, 0.5 dB here, minus 1 dB here. You know what I mean? That's what you really want to do when you're mastering. All right, so match EQ is pretty cool. I don't really use this, but you can match the EQ to another song. You can kind of bring it in. I don't really do that, but it's pretty cool. Spectral Shaper, I don't use that very often. But let's go down to this vintage compressor.
It's already done. It's already done. We already won. It's already done. We already. How could I fear the one that I know? Don't walk with a fiend.
Compress. Look at this ratio. You want that ratio to be fat, bro. What is it? You want a slow attack and a fast release. Let's see. Let's hit that ratio like. Let's see what it sounds like.
Quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood. We already won. We already won. It's already done. It's already done. We already won. It's already done. We already. How could I fear the one that I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood. We already won. We already won. It's already done. It's already done. We already won. It's already done. We already. How could I fear the one that I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are
cool. And the reason why you do that is because your bass, typically it'll spike, and so if you kind of cut it off a little bit, then whenever you're bringing it into the limiter, you cut off the little tippies, and then you can bring the levels up, and it'll just sound a little bit louder. So that's what you want to do. It's kind of like, you know, cut your hair, you cut off the frosted tips, and then you got a flat top. You can just raise the flat top a little bit higher. You know what I mean? So, vintage EQ is pretty cool. Now, this you got to know what you're doing. So, I would recommend here, because you start boosting stuff, and you're like, oh, this sounds good, it sounds good, and then your song sounds like trash once you're done boosting stuff. So, with this, I would just recommend look up, you know, for folk or whatever, what is a good frequency to boost when mastering your song. And so, but limiter and tape, add some saturation, bro.
Enemies are quiet. When did I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood. We already won. Already won. We already won. Already won. It's already done. Already done. It's already done. Already done. We already.
Bring this down just a little bit, because everyone I watch on YouTube just bring it down a little bit. I don't know why, but that's why I do it. So, limiter, bam. Yeah, so remember the flat top? So now we're just gonna raise it up. Now, whenever you do this, you go to your stereo out, buddy. Hit your effects. These are the 3 effects I like to have on my stuff. So go to metering, go to a level meter. Here you want RMS. Boop. Go to metering again, multimeter. Oh, good. One more time for the people in the back. Metering. We're going to go to a loudness meter, and this is going to get your LUFS, your RMS, and your freaking analyzers. LUFS, I like to keep them around -9. RMS, maybe sometimes -8. RMS around -8. So play the loudest part of your song, and you're going to be messing with your freaking limiter here. And then, when you're playing your song, you can kind of see.
Samson, how I'm moving these stones. David, how I'm throwing these stones. Thanos, how I'm using these stones. Jesus, how I'm rolling these stones. Watch me do a lap. All I see are dubs up in the chat. Watch me do a lap. All I see are dubs up in the chat. How could I feel it? When did I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood.
Good. Okay. Okay.
Covered in blood, we already won. Already won. We already won. Already won. It's already done. Already done. It's already done. Already done. We already won. It's already done. We already. How could I feel it? When did I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood.
I think it's pretty good. All right, and so right here, you want your ceiling to be -0.1, because you don't want to be clipping at 0, because that's when everything else will clip, like on radio or streaming or whatever, they clip at 0. So just clip at -1, you know what I'm saying, like that, just follow the rule. So let's listen to it. How's it sound?
Rolling these stones. Watch me do a lap. All I see are dubs up in the chat. Watch me do a lap. All I see are dubs up in the chat. How could I feel it? When did I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree blood, we already won. Already won. We already won. It's already done. It's already done. Already won. It's already. When did I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood. We already won. We already won. It's already done. It's already done. We already won.
Sometimes you'll kind of hear the bass kind of ducking a little bit. If you do that, just bring down some of your compressor, all that sort of stuff. And if you hear a little distortion on the bass, that means it's a little too hot. So that's why I'm bringing down some stuff.
It's already done. We already. How could I feel it? When did I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood. See our dubs up. How could I feel it? When did I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood. We already won. We already won.
That sounds nasty, ain't it? All right, boom. That's what you do, and then watch those level meters, bro. Boop boop boop.
It's already done. It's already done. We already won. It's already done. We already. How could I feel it? When did I know? Don't walk with a fiend, I walk with a ghost. My enemies are quiet at once, cause that old tree is covered in blood.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. So that is how you mix in Ozone 10. or later. So as you can see, we went through this whole shebang, bada boom, bada bing. And remember, do this first. Let it do its thing. You know what I mean? The AI. Make sure you got your hip hop rap. If you're folk, I know you're folk. You're watching this and you're mixing your folk. Just make sure. And then over here, equalizer, stabilizer, impact, imager, dynamic, maximizer. It kind of set that stuff. We added dynamics. Remember, you just pop, 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 hit that learn. Exciter, pop, 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 hit that learn. Master rebalance. You could do with your vocals, drums. Low end focus. If you rap, I kind of like the punchiness. Smooth, you can smooth some stuff out. Vintage compressor, you want to glue a little bit together. Vintage tape, add some saturation, make it a little bit fat. And then vintage limiter, you throw that mug on last. Cool. So this is the final song.
Son, doing my David dance, go left and right for fun. Feel him expanding, feeling my breath. Praises filling up both of my lungs. Running this planet, got the advantage. Part of the kingdom, try to expand it. Cornerstone, it's harder than granite. Paid the loan, don't gotta go bandit. Draw me close, feeling like a magnet. Draw me close.
The song is not out yet, so don't take my song. If you want to see more videos like this, please let me know so that I can make more videos. I'm definitely going to make some videos with like stock plugins and how to use some of those mugs, bruh. So anyways, verse of the day is John 3:17. Let's read John 3:17. Most people know John 3:16. If you don't, God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. But we're going to look at John 3:17. For God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. All right, so if you felt condemnation, if you felt like you are a piece of garbage, you are not. God came to save you, and he does not condemn you. A beautiful story in the Bible that displays this is whenever there's a lady caught in adultery, and she was doing some naughty things. And so the Pharisees brought out this lady and was like, we're going to stone her. What do you say about that? And Jesus was like, ye without sin first cast the first stone, bruh. And they all started walking away because they all sin. And just like everybody else. And but that's the beauty is that there's two parts in here. He didn't condemn her like everyone else did. But the second part is he went up to her and said, hey, where are your accusers? They don't condemn you, neither do I. But then he said, go sin no more. So it's a two-parter, man. It's so beautiful that Jesus will forgive you of your sins if you just repent. And the second thing is going and sin no more is not like a behavior modification. This lady, I'm assuming, will probably like become a follower of Jesus. So as long as you're following Jesus, man, he starts changing your heart. And it's not that it's a behavior modification, but as you're spending time with Jesus, your desires become his. Just like when you spend time with friends, I mean, you become kind of like them. So show me your friends, show me your future. If you're hanging around Jesus, reading his word, all that sort of stuff, you just won't want to do certain things anymore, right? So that's the verse of the day. Hope you are encouraged. Make sure to get some of that audio production stuff. Make sure to watch my YouTube, because I got songs and I got stuff like this. So if you like it, give me a subscribe and a like and share this to your friends and family and your grandma. Thanks. Bye.